Oh, the power of an online dating profile. Let's chat about this for a little bit. I am Jacqueline, your professional matchmaker and founder of Discover Love Matches. I'm about to teach a class on how to attract awesome and amazing, incredible people through your dating profile and read between the lines of what you are so missing when you read somebody's profile. And I thought I'd give a little highlight today for those of you that might not be able to attend or don't live in the Pacific Northwest, where I teach my live workshops in Portland, Oregon. And I really want you to take a moment and think about the power of a profile. And if you are having a profile, now with discoverlovematches.com, if you are part of our membership, you know that I do profiles. That's how I keep everyone organized. When I first began my agency, everyone would answer questions, email us, and we'd print them off, and we keep them in a row of a gazillion white notebooks. But as you know, with life, it's always changing and fluid. So anybody, I put their information into the notebook, and before you knew it, that information wasn't current anymore. So now we have a membership site where people can log in, update, make changes, and adjustments to their profile as they wish. So therefore, it is a little bit more flexible, and it helps me keep up with everybody and our members to read about one another. Now, in our program, you can only be in there if I have met you, spoken with you, connected with you, talked with you, somebody else has referred you to me. I make sure you're real and legit and you're part of this, because, you know, on those other apps, you can be fake all you want because no one's going to hold you accountable. So let's look at this profile business as a positive thing of communication. For me and my agency, it helps me to remember everything. I've got so many people, I can't remember it all, which is actually a good thing. But I remember in the beginning where I could still remember how tall everyone was, how many kids they had, the names of their kids. I have a crazy memory. And this allows me a little bit more flexibility to try not to retain so much. So I can look up stuff when I want to tell my higher level clients about one another, and then they can read the profile to decide. So our questions are a little bit different than other sites, but overall there's a clear similarity. What are you looking for? What do you have to offer? You know, do you have children? Do you drink? Do you have special hobbies and interests, and all of that good stuff? And one of my questions at the end of our profile is, what does falling in love mean to you? Which honestly, I love answering or reading the answers to this question, because it tells me where their heart's coming from. I know it's hard to put that kind of an emotion into typing it all out and having others read it, but it's nice to know that only pre-screened quality individuals are part of it. And I'm excited because I want you to really think about what you're genuinely trying to have come across. I will say, whenever a client of mine says, hey, will you read my profile from a dating app? I check it out, and I'm just so bothered, to say the least, by how much negativity is actually in a lot of these profiles. They list all the things that they don't want to have happen. I want a faithful person. You know what? Even though that sounds positive, it's actually saying, I've been cheated on. I want somebody with integrity. It means you've dated somebody without integrity. You know, I want somebody who's on time. It means that you only date late people. Like, you have to understand that even when you think you've written a positive, you actually are saying all the things that have happened negative to you and have let you down. So we're going to focus on being more open in your profile. Be careful about being too specific. Like, sometimes people will make a profile and say, I want, you know, somebody with long blonde hair or short red hair, or I want to date somebody who's bald. Well, hair can change. I always tell people to keep in mind what can be flexible. I can change this. I just paid for it to get blonder. So, you know, people can say they want to date a blonde, but you know what? I'm actually a little darker hair underneath. I was this color when I was a little girl. So I had to get my little girl hair color back. But, you know, it's long, but I could chop it, which I won't. I've done that. That is very stressful to me. I do like long hair, but that's a choice that I make. And so we have things that we're attracted to, but we also have to remember what's adjustable. Maybe somebody's a little more overweight than you're necessarily drawn to. but they could lose weight. But if they're kind of rude and annoying and they have no personality, they're not going to get a personality. I have dated people that were super charming on the phone, and then as soon as you meet them, you're like, you're kind of a jerk. And you're really a jerk. And there was no way to improve that. You know, they can fake it when they're spending time thinking about things. But that's why I want you to think about, how do you genuinely want people to learn about you? Are you somebody who is fun and energetic? Are you spontaneous and exciting? Are you somebody who wants a travel partner? Do you want an adventure source that you can together come up with fun things to do? Are you looking for the love of your life? I know a lot of times people say, oh, I don't want to say that on a profile, that I want to find somebody forever. But let's just be honest. And if somebody writes that on their profile, don't be thinking, oh, that's too much at once. No, they're just being honest. They're not looking to just serial date. They're looking to make a connection. So taking some time out to really think what matters to you and having it in your voice. A lot of times clients are like, oh, well, you just write it for me. And it would be my voice, and they'd fall in love with what my voice message is, and it's not your voice. So it's really important that you have your own style, your own message. It's also really important that you don't make it too long. I will say that most people on dating apps, I haven't found it as much with my site, but on dating apps, they tend to make their profile so long. And honestly, the longer the profile, the longer they've been online dating, because they keep adding things to it. Every time a date goes bad, they go on there and make changes and adjustments and add to it. So it isn't attractive. And if somebody has to read a novel before they can even talk to you, chances are you've either lost them, that they won't get through the novel, or they feel like you're spending so much energy telling the whole world of dating app people about you, and there's nothing special and left for you two together. So the goal of a dating profile is to entice and intrigue and pique the interest of the reader to want to take action and either respond to your message of interest or reach out to you to show you their interest. So keep it light, keep it clear, but be careful that you're not so specific that you exclude people that you could really enjoy. I know people get into heights, they get into weight, they get into age, but when it comes down to all the dust of life settling down, don't you really just want somebody that you're head over heels in love with? And how many times have you heard from people say, I never thought I'd fall in love with this type of person, but oh my gosh, I kept dating a certain type that wasn't working for me, and I just opened up my possibilities, and now I'm madly in love with this incredible person that was never my type initially. So I want you to start looking at your profile and kind of pull apart the words and see, are we over narrow or are we too broad to where there's no sense of like familiarity or place that that person can go, oh, I can relate there. Because when someone's reading your profile, they want to find something in common, but something new that you would bring to the relationship. So there has to be some kind of balance in between all of that. And in doing so, it's about getting the conversation started. It's not telling your whole life story. And just a little tidbit on pictures. Make sure you have an actual cropped picture that is straight on, eye contact, no sunglasses, teeth showing, get a smile, and just crop it directly on so they can look right at you. People need to see your eyes. They need to know that you have teeth. They need to know that you are directly looking to invite them into your space. So many people are doing these sunglasses, side profiles, and everybody wants to read into what are they hiding, or smiles with no teeth. Like, no teeth, that's not good. People want to know you have teeth. I can't even smile without my teeth showing. So I'm trying, but I just can't. So think about that. And when you do a full body picture, just own it. If you don't feel like your body's just how you want, yeah, you can maybe stand with your knee on a chair or curved a little bit and change the angle some, but own who you are. Let them love every inch of you. Give them a chance for honest information, and allow yourself to have a higher standard, but also don't be so picky because so many people suck at writing their profile that it's easy to make assumptions on how the profile has decided your fate. I've told so many people about match potentials because I match on a human level, I match on a spiritual level, I match on a level of, I know you're supposed to know this person. And then they say, oh, I read their profile. I didn't like one thing they said, so never mind. And I'm like, oh, just because they have one thing in their profile you didn't like, it wasn't really a bad thing. It was just something maybe you guys could talk about and you would understand it wasn't that big of a deal to them. So we have to give people a chance to pick apart whatever their story is and understand that they might not have all the training you do on how to write a quality profile. So for those that you come to my workshop, you will get a ton more information. But those of you that aren't able to attend, take some of these nuggets, put them into action, and then add to the comments below and let me know what tools you are using to make sure the right person learns about you. Because when you have a better understanding of what you're saying, you have a better understanding of what they're saying in profiles. And you always, always, always want to say thank you to anyone that messages you, even if they're not a match. Just say thank you, you wish them the best, and then move on. Because that way they're not waiting and wondering if they'll hear back from you. I am blessed because my clients know communication is everything of why we are able to keep the flow going. So anytime you get a message from one of my people, of course you know to reply, but even on a dating app, make sure you reply, and then you know that they know it's not going anywhere, but that you appreciate the message. But then if you're interested, you got to get right on that because the great ones don't last long. So no waiting, let's have fun. I am Jacqueline, your professional matchmaker and founder of Discover Love Matches, where we're here to support you in finding love, enjoying love, and keeping love. So let's have some fun together and keep this conversation going. Until next time.